You have seen the UAE change completely, right?
Absolutely, from 1995 to 2025.
So what all has changed over the years, according to you?
From a very sleepy village where it was known for pearl fishing, pearl diving and this stuff. Today, it's one of the most renowned cities in the world. Infrastructure this region has gone through is absolutely amazing. And I keep telling my friends, right, I love this country. Right? This country has given me more than anything else has given. That development doesn't come. A lot of people, without knowing, they say it's oil wealth. Right? It doesn't come just because of oil wealth. You need to have a leadership with a vision. Right? I distinctly remember, right, when I was in Emirates, and then Dubai airport was not very big. Our chairman, Sheikh Ahmed, was saying, listen, we want to build an airport which is going to take 12 million people. So at that time, it was what, 4, 5 million? And we're thinking, okay, 12 million is going to take 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. In 3 years, we come back and say, hey, we need another airport for 20 million.
Wow.
So things, where people know what they want, how they want to take the country there, and they get there with empathy. Right? So when I say empathy, that's another important factor. Right? 2001, September 11, obviously, everybody knows what happened. And the airline industry took the biggest hit. Right? So there we were sitting, and first week, all the bookings are getting cancelled. And we're saying, what are we going to do for the jobs? And we get a message from our chairman saying, we are family, no jobs will be touched. Right? That's empathy. You can have all the dazzle and razzle, and where people say, company is family, but when it comes to action, people don't do that. So then you have respect for people who do that, right? So, and then that Paris show in 2001, when the whole world was shying away, not knowing what's going to happen to their travel, Emirates went and placed an order for 15 billion aircraft.
Wow.
15 billion, right?
Wow, yeah.
The whole world looked at and said, what's happening to these guys, right? So that's the sort of stories I've grown up with. Another interesting story I've seen in Emirates, right? 1996, Dubai predominantly used to be a winter-only set, obviously, right?
Yeah, of
Summers
course, yeah.
were hot. We were desperately looking for ways and means and say, what do we do in 5 months of the year? There's so much of time. We need to do something. Right? We launched what's called as a Dubai Stopover program. Right?
Okay.
The Stopover program is, listen, Emirates is be the hub, right? But how do we get these guys out? So there were a couple of 5-star hotels. So we went to them and said, listen, we want to offer a stay at $50 per night.
Okay.
Right? You travel on Emirates, you stop over, get to experience Dubai for $50 a night. And then the 5-star hotels were reluctant, but the Emirates said, don't worry, we will subsidize a few. Right?
Okay.
We put together the Stopover program, and today it's one of the most popular programs, right? And now anyway, you don't need to subsidize people to come to Dubai. But those are experiences, right? When you put together things, when you've seen a country grow, it just makes you so much happy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing to add on to what you've said is not being content and satisfied is also very, very important to grow. For example, they found petrol in what, like 1969, 1971? They would have settled down, okay, we are an economy that is run on oil. But no, they evolved again and working towards developing a community where there's a lot of inclusivity. That's another word that comes to mind along with empathy,
Absolutely.
right? So there's a lot of inclusivity, people from all over the world coming here. How did that happen, according to you, being a travel expert? That inclusivity, how did it lead the tourism industry to boom and grow?
See, the inclusivity comes, I think you can't manufacture that, right? It's the hospitality aspect of this region, right? It's well known for, it's in the DNA, right? So right from the beginning, forget about this wealth and everything. Even in 1970s, 80s, this region did not discriminate between nationalities, right? So that inclusivity was part of the DNA or culture of this place. Right? It's a very simple thing, right? COVID time, you roll out vaccines, nobody differentiated any nationality.
Absolutely, that's
There
so
are
true.
countries, right,
Yeah.
who specifically said nationals first, expats can come later, right?
True.
This country, no. So these are the defining moments, right? Again, I say people can talk a lot of things. Words are cheap. But when it comes to crunch situations, how do you demonstrate that? Right? They demonstrated that.
Absolutely.
So that, as I said, hospitality is part of the Arab culture, and UAE is absolutely well known for it. Tourism has grown, right? As that's why I said. We initially obviously took on the Singapore model, right? So a small city with a port, with an airline, right? Use the airline to bring in the transit passengers, use the port. Dubai grew based on that. But then if you see, if I can say, Singapore sort of stagnated at some point, right? If you see the 70s and 80s, Singapore was like one of the go-to destinations, right? Everything, like we used to see the Sentosa Island and like, but then after 80s, I think the priorities changed, right? Singapore probably wanted to evolve into a financial hub and stuff like that. But Dubai is not like that, right? Every 3 years, if you come to Dubai, you will suddenly see a different set of attractions.
Absolutely.
So I thought, right, this has to stop. This probably will stop at some point, right? It's not. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It's an amazing factor, right? Where it's like somebody loves this place, keeps coming up with the new things. And now with Abu Dhabi joining the race and Russell Khema joining the race,
true.
I won't call it a race, but it's a friendly fight, right? It's amazing. So everybody is trying to saying, listen, I can now do here. Take Disneyland. I'm going to get TeamLabs here. And then Russell Khema saying, here is responsible gaming, right? So together, UAE is like, I'm, as somebody from a tourism field, I'm enjoying, looking forward to the next 5 years, right? This place is going to be a world beater. If it's not already.
So basically, evolution, continuous evolution is one very important factor to develop your tourism, right? That is what you're saying.
Absolutely. No, you need that. You need to have the infrastructure. You need to give safety to the tourists. And you need to keep coming up with new attractions. They do all three of them very beautifully.
Okay, how's UAE different compared to, you gave an example of Singapore, but there are so many destinations that are coming up with tourism, and tourism has developed over time. And now it is one of the most, we talk about wanderlust, we talk about, people going to new destinations. So what sets UAE apart compared to all the other countries?
Oh, nice. Safety is a paramount feature, right? Not a lot of countries can boast about it, especially now. Right? Now, UAE's safety is well known, right? You leave your wallet, you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, there have been so many social experiments on that.
Absolutely. I forget social experiments. My own life, right? My daughter grew up in UAE, and then she goes to London for law school. Second week, she calls and says, Dad, I've lost my phone. What did you do? I put it on the table. You're not supposed to put it on the table, but if you've grown up in this place, you just take it for granted, right? That's the thing, right? Safety. When people don't understand that. When she comes back and she says, listen, 2 o'clock in the morning, I have absolutely no fear. I can just venture out into the streets of UAE without a fear. I can't do that in any other part of the world. So that's very important for tourists, right? That's an important aspect of it. The second one is food. People don't understand this, right? UAE probably has more number of restaurants per square feet compared to any other place.
Wow.
New York might have more restaurants, but in terms of per square foot rate, UAE has the thing, right? And the best part, again, you can name any cuisine of the world, right? UAE will have it, and you will get authenticity there.
Yeah, true.
Right? You say, some people say we have South India. No. You tell you want Calicut food, there'll be 2 restaurants serving authentic Calicut food. You go and say, I want Andhra. Yeah, here's Andhra. Here's South Andhra, right? That's the sort of specificity, and it's affordable. You can have a meal for 10 dirhams.
Absolutely.
You can have a meal for 10,000 dirhams.
So true.
It's not very easy to find this. We just take it for granted, right? Because we are in this place, we just take it for granted. And as a tourist, when you go to other places, you'll say, hey, where are these restaurants? Well, you've got only this. So that's important. And as I said, the third aspect, obviously, is the number of attractions, right? It sort of beautifully combines culture. So you got the desert, you got the dhow cruises, you got the stories of culture, you've got, and then beautifully marries it with the modern developments. You got the Museum of Future, Burj Khalifa, and then you got a beautiful, bustling nightlife, right? very nicely combined, and it just evolved into that.
Counter question. Has this, I'll say, over tourism led to cultural dilution of sorts?
I don't think there's a cultural dilution. This, again, as I said, they've done it so beautifully. The culture of the place as in itself is multicultural, right? They have beautifully protected the different layers where they understand to what part tourism can get into, at what part their culture stands, right? So I don't think there is, very simple, right? The number of expats in this place outnumbers the number of
Nationals.
nationals,
True,
right?
true.
Now, that in itself could be a question saying, have you guys gone and diluted the culture? Forget the tourists, right? Those 20 million tourists can stay there. In a day-to-day life, you've got a melting point of cultures there. They protected it so beautifully. They're very proud of their culture and they sort of display it to the world. And one of the shining aspects of the culture is inclusivity. So when inclusivity is a shining aspect of your culture, you can say, bring on another 100 million voice, my culture will shine through.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a very good answer, actually. And I agree to what you're saying. For example, every one of us at one point or other would have worn a kandura, right?
Yeah,
Just to be a part of the culture.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so you're spot on when you say this. Okay, for destinations who are trying to replicate UAE's success in terms of tourism, what are the three things that they need to do, in your opinion?
Don't try too much. You might not be able to replicate. But,
Well, the UAE just
I know. There are others. Yeah, who are trying this, right? So one thing is you need a solid ecosystem of infrastructure, guides, manpower. So I'll give you a simple example, right? There's another regional entity which is trying to build tourism. Who's trying to grow tourism, which is a very good thing to see. But some of the challenges we find there is, if you're going to find trained manpower, which is affordable, you need to let in expats to begin with, right? Because no country probably has the DNA to have suddenly expert Chinese-speaking guides, Russian-speaking guides, German-speaking guides. You might not have.
True.
So it's prudent to let experts from other countries come in, encourage them, train them, create the ecosystem, and then create ground up your own nationals.
So
right?
it'll take them years to do that, though.
It might not. It might at least probably take 3-5 years if you fast track, right? But if you're going to say, no, I want to develop my own, it will take time, but you don't get that excellence coming in. Right? So and if you don't get that excellence coming in, you might have one odd good ones which will come up, which is the case with any society, right? But to have the service replicated each and every time, you need a bigger sample of experts. And that will come only when you import them to begin with, if you don't have it, right? A lot of countries don't understand that. They think, listen, I've got a tourism class. I'm going to put all my guys into this guide training. And hey, they'll all come out as expert guides and that's going to speak well about my tourism. It won't happen that way. Right? UAE understood that. Right? So a country which hopes to replicate that success needs to understand that as well and say, it's just not about, I built those fancy hotels, come, right? Now, people who are going to be in the hotels need to address human beings who's walking there for leisure, right? He needs to be addressed in his language. He needs to be made comfortable. He needs to be made that service is the second nature of that organization. Now, all that is part of some of it comes naturally, but then it's a well-manured, well-oiled training that needs to be done, right? For that, you need a large pool of manpower which lives and breathes tourism, right? If you're lucky, you can get homegrown talent, but if you're not, you need to accept that. Bring it on, make sure, then you second those guys, develop it in grown, and then make it happen. Right?
So again, inclusivity is the underlining word. Absolutely. That is what you're saying.
I keep coming to that. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Technology has changed leaps and bounds as well. So, what tech-driven innovations do you think have improved the tourist experience in the UAE?
It's huge, right? UAE is adapted to a lot of technology today. If you see our airports, you got those face recognition. We were probably one of the very first to adopt it. And overall, right, the whole world is moving towards technology. As we sit there on the cusp of an AI breakthrough, people are talking about the NGIs, we're talking about AIs taking over the world. It would be very surprising if any travel organization or infrastructure does not think about AI technology. Right? This place is very well developed in terms of technology, right from distribution, if I can get into a bit more technical, contracting, every aspect of travel as in an automated state as far as UAE is concerned, right? And the adaptability is quite high, right, in this region. Right?
Okay.
And I'm excited for the AI bots to be roaming around our hotels in the next 3-4 years. I won't be surprised at all. I can see that happening. Right?
All right.
Already a lot of customer service is being done through chatbots.
True.
So they're going to evolve, and if they've not evolved in other areas, they're going to be evolving and offering a lot of first line of service. So I'm excited for that as well.
And Rayna Tours as well sends in a lot of messages. I get
No,
a lot of
absolutely,
messages
as I said.
every day.
See, that's important, right? So Rayna today handles close to 2 million customers.
Wow, that's amazing.
2 million customers. So if you don't use technology and if you don't use automation, the amount of manpower you're going to be deploying is huge, right? And you can never scale up your business, right? As I said, if UAE is planning to grow Vision to 2030, where they're planning to triple the number of tourism, Rayna is going to be on the forefront of that. And for that to happen, we need to make sure we use technology. Right? And I'm excited about it. What are the things we're doing in Rayna today? Very exciting about that. We'll talk about it when there's a nice opportunity. We're using a lot of AI to build our customer bots, as I said. We're using AI for our social media research. We're using AI for our distribution. So very interesting times.
Okay, you talk about AI. On the flip side, don't you think that AI-driven so many bots, for example, makes travel a little impersonal? Don't you think so? Because it was always nice to talk to a human. You can talk to them about your concerns and they can come back and give it back to you in a very human way. But now AI taking over, do you think it's...
See, that's the best part of these AI bots, right? Because they're trained. So they're not mere machines, right? So some of the models we work with, they're in fact better than human beings in terms of responding to a customer. So we sort of infuse the empathy factor. Really, when it comes to training, so you can actually train, if I have to get a bit technical, right? If I'm going to build a customer bot, I need to give it a set of attributes. Right? So where I'll say, listen, you have to be very professional in your communication. This is your domain. I'll train him on a set of products. And then you can actually go and talk about empathy as a factor. Right? You prove that. So customer comes and says, listen, my city tour is scheduled at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I want to cancel. So normally you're saying you're within cancellation period. Sorry, you can't cancel, right? So then the customer says, listen, my child is sick. I need help. So that's when the empathy factor kicks in, right? So the bot can recognize that.
Okay.
That's the best part of technology. As I said, we are really living in a world where a huge transition is happening.
So do you think a lot of jobs are going to go in the travel industry in the coming years?
I'm not saying it will go, Faizan, right? As I said, we've seen multiple transitions. People have talked about this, right? When computers came in, there was a huge protest, right?
True.
I remember people going in bullock carts protesting against computers, right?
So true.
Today, computers are in every house and jobs have evolved, right? I think AI is going to bring about a revolution like that. But the only difference this time is you're not going to have time to react. The time to react is much shorter, right? So when computers came, I think typewriters had a field day for the next 10 years, 15 years. People were still using typewriters, right? So you had a good 15 years, 20 years to change. With AI, probably we'll have 5 years. So we all need to evolve. And then probably you'll have humanoid robots doing podcasts.
Yeah, that's what I don't want, for the record. And that's why I'm very scared of AI. So yeah, maybe. पर मेरे जैसी creativity कहाँ लेकर आएगा?
No,
AI bot.
absolutely. You are unique. Right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That is all I wanted.
Yes.
Again. Okay, moving on. We were talking about technology and UAE. We were talking about, flying cars. We are talking about futuristic driverless taxis.
Absolutely.
But don't you think that cater to only luxury travelers? Or, we've been talking about inclusivity quite a lot, actually.
No, actually, the very idea of AI is democratizing technology. So today, with a $20 subscription of Chat GPT, you can make the best of services available to everybody. Right?
Okay.
What was like financial analysis done through some the PwC consultants, which was taking them a month, you do that in 4 hours. So that's democratizing technology. You make it available, right? I think the very vision of AI, if it's going to come through in its right form, is abundance. So people who want to do a job, you can do. But if you don't want to do a job you don't like, you don't need to do it. Machines will do it for you.
I'll reframe the question once again. So there are going to be flying taxis. There are going to be, driverless cabs. But they're all going to be very expensive, don't you think? So what I want to know is does that concept only cater to luxury travelers? Because we've been talking about inclusivity quite a lot.
Absolutely. No, think about it, right? On the contrary, so let's park flying taxis for a moment, right? Driverless cars, right? Now, driverless cars are going to come and they're going to be definitely cheaper than Uber because you've taken a cost element out and you're going to get a resource which can run 24 hours. As opposed to, so today if you think about a car, right, with the driver, probably he runs it for 12 hours, 14 hours if he wants to stretch. So there's a certain element to the cost of ownership and cost of operation. So when you bring in a driverless cars, essentially you have a resource which is 24 hours. So the cost of hiring it will be much cheaper.
Okay.
Right? So think about the cars you and I drive. Once we go to office, we park it in the parking bay and that's about it, right? That's going to be out there in the market, which is available to rent if you want to. So the number of cars will reduce, which is going to be very good for this environment, pollution control. At the same time, it's going to cater to a lot of people who are going to use only that fractional concept and it's going to be cheaper.
Okay, so tell me, if someone is thinking about starting a new startup, a travel tech startup,
Absolutely.
what are the 3 things they should consider?
Oh, very good. So you need to be good in your domain knowledge, right? So when you want to do a travel tech startup, forget travel tech startup, any company you want to start, you need to be solid with respect to the domain knowledge, right? And I always stress on that, right? Without that domain knowledge, no technology can come and save you, right? You can say, I have the best technology, but if you don't know your business, you're going to be lost at some point, right? So I'll always say, make sure you develop a solid understanding of end-to-end process of your business. Right?
Okay.
That's very important. If you don't have it, if you're a tech expert, make sure your co-founder is a domain expert, somebody who has that knowledge of that, right? So that's important. The second aspect of it is get your tech absolutely spot on, right? You can no longer do with also rans average tech and say, okay, I'll do it. If you want to make a difference, I'll say build your tech, where the difference is there, right? And the third aspect, obviously, is be prepared for at least a 6 to 9 months runway, right? It's important. Again, that's a lesson a lot of founders don't realize because this business is a lot of cash flow intensive business, right? You might have to give credits. You might have to, because shifting business from an existing player, credit involves a lot. There's a lot of large entities which give credit to customers. And as a startup, if you don't have that, if you want to get in there, unless you charter a different path.
Do you think the push towards green tourism is a real change or more of a branding effort? What do you think?
No, you can't just sweep it under the carpet, right? We all need a greener planet, right?
True.
Now, how much of that is practically implementable? How much of that is realistic is a different story, right? Today, I've heard about this carbon footprints, people buying carbon credits. They've all been there in the last 20, 30 years. But then it's a question of how practical it is and whose responsibility is it to implement that, because there's a cost associated with all of these initiatives, right? And at the end of the day, a private travel player has got his own interests. There's a traveler who's got his own pocket to. So if I go and tell a traveler, listen, you're taking this giant aircraft to come from A to B, so you've done so much of carbon emission, please give me $500 to compensate for that. And he's going to say, ooh, that's not me, right? So then me as an organization, I'll say, okay, I'm going to run this package where this guy is going to do so much of carbon emissions. Let him charge $500 more. And then I'll use that for my CSR. And then there'll be 10 other entities who are offering the same package for $500 less. And guess what's going to happen to me?
Absolutely. Becomes really difficult.
Yeah. So the question is, who's going to bell the cat? Right? So I don't think the drastic measures can come through so easily, right? I think the governments as such, they've been, the big leaders have joined together. They've spoken so much about what are the individual responsibilities, how they can implement, because it's a larger framework, right? Private players would find it very difficult to implement something like this.
All right.
That's the honest opinion.
All right. Well, tell me, with targets like 40 million visitors, $480 billion industry, sustainability, does that stay a top priority with these sort of targets? Because another buzzword in the UAE is sustainability.
No, it's there, right? If you think about, my wife is in the construction industry, and she feeds a lot of gyan to me about value engineering, sustainability.
I love the word gyan that you use.
It is, right? When it comes to your wife, that's what it is. Right?
Absolutely, always.
So UAE takes a lot of focus on when it comes to value engineering and sustainability as part of their key growth areas, right? Very simple, right? My father-in-law was here last month, right? I took him to a park next door and he was looking at saying, I thought this was a desert. I said, yes. How do you have this park with such greenery here, right? It's very simple, right?
Absolutely.
He's saying, I'm from this place and I don't see these parks maintained. How do you guys do it? Simple measures. That's what UAE is all about, right? We the mangrove forest, what we're trying to do. All these are measures to make sure we make this place sustainable, and there's a lot of money being spent on these things.
I was going to Kalba the other day. In fact, it was about in the winters, I believe. So I was going with my family and I was surprised to see huge farms on the right-hand side. Huge farms.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a desert and we have farms here now. So, it's amazing how the government does it. And does it with such ease also.
Absolutely.
So it's just great to see. And possibly that's another reason why UAE is growing the way it is growing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Moving on. What are the big changes? We were talking about the pandemic. We were talking about COVID. So what are the big changes that you've seen in the industry post the pandemic era?
That's true. One of the things I see is a influencer-driven market.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So everybody wants to do what another person does. Right? And I see that trend like just going through the roof at this point. Right? The whole concept of marketing as I used to know it has changed. Right? Today, if I want to launch a new product, the best place is to go into digital marketing and see, hey, get an influencer, let her, go through the same thing, and then you will automatically get queries.
Yeah, right? You said her.
Yeah, the reason I said that is because it's fresh in my mind.
Okay. The last one you've done.
We launched a Riyadh office 4 months back. And we found an influencer. We sent her to Italy. Right? And lo behold, after the story is published, 400 queries come. I want the same inquiry. I want the same itinerary as that person. Right? For getting a 400 queries is like
crazy.
A dream. It's a dream, right? And then one story of that influencer is getting you 400 queries is like brilliant. So I'm very happy. But as a trend, right? It's probably I'm 52 years and it's fascinating for me, right? It's a completely new trend. Gone are the days where you used to say, listen, let's do newspaper ads, let's go, let's talk to people, let's give this all that is all like, it's no longer applicable. Get good influencers like Faizan, let him talk about a product, and lo and behold,
why have you never taken me, Rayna Tours?
We should.
We will, hopefully.
Yes.
But don't you think, too much ho raha hai thoda? Is it hurting the genuine exploration? Because it's always, say, hunky-dory videos. They would show always what they want to show.
They will.
Don't you think it's also hurting the industry to an
isn't
extent?
that how advertisement is always about? Right?
True.
So
Agreed.
think about it.
That
right?
also is true.
Yeah, you get Surf Excel and you're going to get the entire white dim wire. You're not going to get that, right? You just showcase that to people, right? So that's how it was. It was being done by organizations. It was done by corporates. Now it's individuals. And I like that, right? Again, I bring up the same point about inclusivity, democratization of advertisement. So you got thousands of good influencers who are there selling a product. And people seem to have confidence buying the product that they choose. So it's nice.
Absolutely. I'm going to contradict my own statement by saying this, that people believe individuals more than corporates.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So if as an individual you go out and you vouch for something,
Yes.
that means that if I connect with them, they would also do the same.
Absolutely. Yeah. If Vimal needs Shahrukh to come and sell his pan parag.
Not just Shahrukh. Not just Shahrukh.
Yeah, it needs. So people need to follow individuals. They don't
Senthil
follow
ne bol diya
corporates.
zaban ke sin.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's one very important aspect of advertising that has come in. And that is possibly the reason why a lot of travel agencies are working with influencers these days.
You cannot escape that. If you're serious about promoting a product on the digital medium, you need to engage social media. You need to engage good influencers. And you need to follow up, right? See, all of this is marketing. At the end of the day, your product has to be solid. Like, we believe in Rayna Tours. You need that perfection. You need to believe in your product, right? You need to believe in the fact that we are here to give a end-to-end excellent experience for a customer who trusts Rayna Tours. We need to have that product in place.
Absolutely.
Once you have the product in place, then you put the cream on top with influencers and say, boys and girls, talk about this product.
Okay, talking about products and services, what are the must-haves that you have right now, or must-haves compared to a few years back, say pre-pandemic?
Yeah. So what we've done in Rayna Tours, I'll explain, right? So people are on the lookout for bespoke experiences, right? Immersive experiences, as they call it, right? Where they want to go and show the world, hey, here is something that I have done where not a lot of people have done, right? So for example, let's take desert safari, right? All of us have done desert safari, where you go into camp with probably 200, 300 more people, you see the belly dance, you get a good food and come back. But then in Rayna, what we do is bespoke experience, right? Just you and your partner, or just 4 of you, we take you into the middle of a desert, beautifully decorated, make you feel like royalty, lights and nicely laid out buffet. And then it's completely different experience, right?
Absolutely.
So when people get to experience that, they think about it, and I love this. All starts in the middle of the night, beautiful. There's a oud player or a guitar player playing your nice music without intervening. It's a wonderful experience, right? There's so many proposals that happen, right? That way, right? Ideal, very romantic getaway. So that's the sort of experience you need to provide. And this generation wants that experience. And then they obviously capture the whole moment using drones and all those things. And then, lo and behold, on social media it goes, right? That's the sort of thing they want.
One personal question. Are you a romantic person?
We all need to be.
Because the way you explained everything, it was as if you were living this.
Yeah, you need to tell a story, right? See, I come from a field in travel. On sales. If you're going to be in sales and if you're going to be in travel, you need to tell that story. And good storytellers are successful.
Would an AI chatbot ever explain that story like this, the way you did it right now?
It might not. Again, it needs to be trained.
Okay. Let's see how much training is required.
Yes,
क्योंकि हम तो इतने साल से train हो रहे हैं, खुद नहीं सीखे कुछ. Okay, moving on. What is one customer insight that changed how you structured all those things that you're talking about at Rayna Tours?
So, As I said, customer experience and customer feedback is very important. You need to keep listening to the customer all the time, right? But at the same time, you also need to understand a customer feedback is not always right. That's a very important factor that you have to get in your mind. As Steve Jobs once famously said, right? If Henry Ford had listened to customer feedback, he would have built faster horses, right? So sometimes innovation is important. So you need to be able to bring in saying,
Disruption basically is the word.
absolutely, right? So in travel, that's very important. There'll be a lot of customer feedback which will be noise sometimes. You need to understand what's genuine feedback, what is noise, and then take it into your process, right? We'll always evolve. There's a lot of customer feedback which will help us change processes, right? Which is important.
Okay, is the market today more about price wars or brand value in tourism? Because as you pointed out, we were talking about the other person would give it for $500 less.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
No, they both have intrinsic values. You cannot separate one from another, right? Obviously, this industry, because of technology, a lot of people, the entry barriers into this industry is less, right? So obviously, the operational cost of smaller players is lesser compared to a larger player. So the same service probably can be given at a lower margin. Simple. Let's say I sell Burj Khalifa tickets, right? Another player sells Burj Khalifa tickets. He can possibly give that at a lower margin than who I can. Then, but when I go and compete with him, then I'm not doing justice to my brand, right? Nor am I doing justice to my customers. So my offerings is tailor-made.
Okay.
Right? One of the things that we take pride in Rayna is, unlike a lot of other travel players, we own our assets. When I say we own our assets, if you see the industry, destination management companies, they basically buy things from the different players. So they buy hotels, they buy desert safari, they buy transfers, they buy Burj Khalifa attractions, put together the whole package and sell it to a customer. Whereas Rayna, we own these assets. So I own 2 desert camps. We own 5 Dow cruises. We own our own luxury yachts. We own a fleet of 200. We own our hot air balloons. So what it does is it helps us to control the quality of our services. It helps us to provide the right service at the right price. Because we're not competing with any other supplier-provided product. We can choose the right service and provide to customers.
I didn't know about that. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, on a personal note, one daily habit or decision-making practice that has helped you scale Rayna Tours?
So in terms of trade, right, you need to be passionate about the company. Right? If you're not passionate, you can easily stagnate and say, okay, Rayna is doing 2 million passengers. Be happy about this, right?
Not being content.
Comfort.
We were talking
Absolutely.
about it earlier. Yeah.
You need to be passionate. You should say what's out there. Who is the next travel fintech? Who's the next travel startup that is trying to outdo me? Right? What are the threats? What are the risks? And at the same time, you look for opportunities. As I said, I read about AI so vociferously. Right? I'm in a travel company at the end of the day, but I make sure I go and read about any latest developments and then look for the new attractions that are coming there and say, constantly think about evolving. Right? As I said, we're moving into the retail space that much more aggressively. We're talking more about how do I get to that Gen Z. Now, that's important. Right? So as a CEO, you need to be passionate about your company.
Okay.
You always think about what can I do to take it to the next level, right? That's important. The moment you lose that passion.
So that is the advice that you're going to give to someone young who's listening to us, who's probably an entrepreneur just started in the travel space.
Absolutely. Without passion, you're dead.
Let's simplify it. Give me 3 points that are very important, just points. Don't elaborate.
Yeah. As I said, you need to have a firm belief in your vision. Okay. Very important. Right?
That's one.
That's easy. A lot of people say vision, I want to be the best. Second, you need to have the discipline to work hard towards that vision. Right?
Okay.
A lot of times people just leave it halfway. The perseverance and the hard work, right? It's absolutely important, right?
True.
And the third one is the go-getter, right? You need to find ways to move around the hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, with all these three without there, you're not going to succeed.
You've been here in the UAE for a long, long time. That is what I've heard. So I want to hear the whole backstory. Where did you start from? How did you come to UAE? And why travel and tourism?
Oh, that's a nice question. So I did not choose travel and tourism. I did my computer engineering from Coimbatore, a small town in Tamil Nadu.
Not very small, but yeah.
Now it's not very small. And then from there, into Emirates Airlines as a computer engineer. So I did my computer engineering. And then 18 years in Emirates gave me a great opportunity to move into different fields because, as you say, Emirates Group has multiple domains and they give you the flexibility to move up the chain in a very beautiful manner. So 18 years, and then I moved in as the Chief Operating Officer of Desert Adventures, which is part of Thomas Group. And then from there on, CEO of Rayna. Here I am after 30 years.
I've been meaning to ask you for a long time, actually. Schengen visa is very difficult to get by these days. So what are the 3 destinations you would recommend to people who are watching us right now, where they can go to without the need of a Schengen visa and can still get the European vibes?
Yes. It's difficult to get, but not with Rayna Tours, is what I'm going to tell you. Right? So there are a couple of products that I'm going to tell you. One, obviously, if you plan your summer holidays probably 3-4 months ahead, with Rayna, you will get a very seamless experience. We help you get Schengen visas in a very seamless manner and help you with the bookings as well. Right? The second thing I would say is cruises. Luxury cruises are a very important product that's coming into the region. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah, I am.
Huge brands like MSC, Costa are flying from UAE as ports. Right? That's been there for the past 2 years. It gives you a taste of luxury cruising over a longer period. Right? So I will always recommend to my friends, try. This product is amazing. Think about it, right? You're getting into this beautiful floating 5-star hotel. Right?
Yeah,
right?
true.
With amazing shows for which you will pay top dollars when you go to Las Vegas. You get it free of cost every evening. You got an all-inclusive diner like breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever you want. Then you got this beautiful swimming pools, special shows, all packaged, right? Without you having to unpack your suitcase every day. Otherwise, if you have to visit Europe, for example, let's say you're going to go on a Europe trip for 5 cities. Every day you need to travel, go, unpack your suitcase, check into another hotel, another city and do it, right? With the cruise, you don't need to do it, right? The cruise ship takes care of it. You just need to wake up, breakfast, go on explore the city, come back, evening, see the beautiful ship, sleep, next day you're in a different city. Right?
Of course.
Amazing. Right? If somebody is out there looking at going to Europe, book your luxury cruises through Rayna. We take care of your Schengen visa as well.
Brilliant. But I'll still ask you that question.
Yeah.
Because Schengen visa is difficult to get by, what are the 3 destinations that you would recommend to all our viewers?
It is definitely. So the short haul destinations in and around UAE are becoming very popular. Georgia is very popular. We got Azerbaijan, which is popular. Then, obviously the other areas. There are quite a good, interesting places for you to explore. Rayna has got very good packages.
Of course. Okay. Let's focus to local now. 5 hidden attractions in the UAE that people must visit, according to you.
Yeah, I'll say. The first thing is the newly opened TeamLabs in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Wow.
You guys have not seen it. This is a gem of an attraction straight from Japan. This place is coming. It'll blow your mind.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So TeamLabs in Sadia, Thailand, you should go and have a look. The second one, which I would say you should experience, as I said, if you have not experienced, is my bespoke desert safari. Right?
All right.
The third one I would say is the Aya Virtual Park. I don't know if it's in Wafi. Fantastic experience. Again, that's a new thing that's been launched. It's there for a couple of years. Again, not very well known probably. So I suggest people should go into that. Then obviously you got your must-see, which are the Warner Brothers that's come through in Abu Dhabi. That's very good. And then one of the things I like personally is the dolphinarium.
Dubai Dolphinarium.
Dubai Dolphinarium. Swimming with the dolphins is one of the best experiences. Right? I'm telling you, it's such a liberating thing when you hold the two fins of the dolphin and let it take control of your life. And in water, it's brilliant.
Okay. The next segment that we have is called This and That. It's going to be fast paced very quickly. So, number one, Alain Cultural Walk or Sharjah Desert Safari? Pick one.
Alain Cultural Walk.
Which one is more authentically Emirati?
Alain Cultural Walk.
Okay. Hatta Kayaking or Fujairah Beach Day?
Hatta Kayaking.
Okay. And why?
Well, the experience is different.
Okay. Keep spotlight on Dubai or spread the shine across all the Emirates?
Difficult question. Spotlight on Dubai, please.
Okay. So, what's better for UAE tourism long term? Keeping spotlight on Dubai or spread the shine across all the Emirates?
Okay. If you phrase it that way, we should spread the light across multiple Emirates because more competition, you will get more authentic experiences. You just see Disney coming in Abu Dhabi, Responsible coming in, gaming coming in Ras Al Khaimah. A huge fillip, right? So Dubai will continue to grow and find its own chartering path. And the other Emirates coming on, adding their own flavors, makes UAE unique. So overall for UAE as a tourism destination, let's spread the love.
And also Abu Dhabi is giving tough competition to Dubai these
Absolutely.
days. So,
Abu Dhabi is there, right behind our heels.
Absolutely. Big ticket cities or small town charm?
For me personally, small town charms.
Okay. And for people who are, going out there for the first time possibly?
First time, obviously, big ticket cities, safer, more well-known, tick box.
Okay, three big
list.
ticket cities that people must go to.
Dubai, London, Paris.
Okay. Three small town places or small towns that people must go to.
Small towns, I would go into the villages of Switzerland, the villages of New Zealand, and then probably the cobbled streets of Paris.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Multi-Emirate tour or one city deep dives?
I would recommend one city deep dive.
So multiple visits with one city deep
Absolutely.
dive. Okay. Push the famous or promote the hidden? As a company?
Push the famous, please.
Push the famous. Okay. But what about those hidden gems that we always talk about?
So you need to cater to the masses versus the niche.
Okay.
So if you give me one option, then I have to cater to the mass.
And personally?
No, even personally, as I said, like the previous question, if you're going to be a first timer, you need to push the famous, right? And then go and give him the next set. I get the main course out of the way and then you get the dessert.
We've also seen, people coming down to Dubai as a tourist and then settling down here. So what is it about Dubai that turns a tourist into a resident, a visitor into a dreamer?
I've told you, this is a very favorite question of mine. Dubai is one of the best places in the world to set up your family. Right? It's safe, infrastructure is top-notch, healthcare is top-notch. You just put your head down and work hard. There's no place like this in the world. And from November till April, Dubai is like heaven on earth. You go to those early morning walks in kite beaches. It's a wow experience.
Absolutely. You go to Jabal Hafiz, Jabal Jais, you go to those places.
It's-
Island, you go to Ras Al Khaimah. It's all brilliant.
Absolutely
during the winters.
brilliant. I love those, right? I said it's a November winter morning in Dubai, when you walk on those beaches, you say, what have I done to be in this place, right? And the skyline, it's everything.
Absolute gold. And of course, the points that you talked about earlier, safety and security and
Best
all
place
those
to
things.
bring kids.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Okay, so 3 destinations in a budget for a family of 4.
Yeah. So if you're a family of 4 in budget in UAE, in the winter, if you want to go, try your cruises first, right? Absolutely recommend go on these cruises, 2-day, 3-day cruises. You will enjoy it, right?
Okay.
The second one, as I said, is explore Thailand, explore Singapore. These are amazing places on budget. You get the right services.
All right, great. Last question to you. Tell us that one mic drop moment in your life where you thought, okay, mic drop moment, I have arrived, I have done whatever I wanted to do.
I don't have that vision. I'll tell you, as I said, from a guy in Chennai, I've come from poverty, right? I spent my school on scholarships and finding right funds. Even getting fees for my college was a big challenge, right? From there, 30 years down the line, when I look on where I've reached, I'm filled with gratitude, right? So never once in my life, I think I will have the moment where I said, listen, I've arrived. That's not going to happen to me, right? There's a lot of gratitude, and it's true for every individual. I don't think any individual can come and say, I've arrived. That moment is not going to happen, right? That's more of a delusion, right? There's so much more to see, so much more to achieve, and you need to be grateful for that moment.
I connect with you on this.
Yeah.
I connect with you on this. Very, very sweet. Thank you so much, Mr. Senthil Velan, for graciously accepting our offer and coming down and being a part of this podcast.
No, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you so much once again.